Hi guys, my name is Annabelle from Horizon Cosplay and this is my husband Ben. Today we are looking for the perfect gingerbread with which to make our gingerbread Disney castle with. So we are trying out 3 gingerbread recipes today. The first is one that I've used throughout my childhood, the second is the official Disney gingerbread house recipe, and the third is a structural gingerbread often used in the building of gingerbread houses and castles. So let's get on with it.
Woo!
So if you'd like to try any of the recipes that we're making today, please check out the description box below for either links to where I've got the recipe from or the actual recipe itself when it comes to the one that I've used throughout my childhood. So the first gingerbread we are going to make is the one from my childhood, simply because we may as well start off easy and I have literally made this one hundreds of times before. So let's start with the flour. Are you doing grams or ounces?
Grams, much more accurate.
So we went to the shops the other day, and because I knew I'd be making a lot of gingerbread, I brought this massive thing of ground ginger. I hope it's enough. So let's see, 2 tablespoons of ground ginger. Look, I've got little heart-shaped measuring cups.
Wow, that ginger smells strong.
Oh, I know. And then we need half TSP mixed spice. Oh, that one's my favourite.
It smells like Christmas, that does. Get up. Perfect, that'll do.
When breadcrumbing a recipe, always advisable to take your ring off so you don't accidentally bake it. It is a mistake I've made once and do not intend to make again. Put this somewhere safe. I love making breadcrumbs from dough. It's so much fun. Alright, is that all the sugar?
That is all the sugar.
Alright, pour it in, and then if you want to sort out the treacle and the milk, which we will melt in the microwave. Look at those breadcrumbs. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's like really, really nice and even. So a really fun fact, which we're not doing at the moment because I forgot to tell Ben about it, is that if you heat up the spoon, like you put it in a glass of hot water for 10 seconds before you put it in the treacle will basically come off it really, really easy and not leave anything stuck to the spoon.
Okay, my question is, why are you telling them now when you've already done it?
Because I just thought about it, because I realised that for once I'm not the one doing the treacle and therefore I should maybe mention it for the next 2 recipes. So if we pop that in the microwave for about 30 seconds and then give it a stir, that should come out nice and melted. Whisk it all together to make sure the milk and treacle are well combined. And then pouring into the thing. Mix the dough around so that it forms actual cookie dough. This is the both best and worst bit. The best because it tastes so good, the worst because it gets very sticky and continuously clings to your fingers. And honey, if you would like to set out some cling film, and we will chill the cookie dough before we roll it all out. So just as a quick disclaimer, we're doing really small amounts of each of these cookie doughs for the simple reason that obviously these are test pieces and we don't want to waste all of our ingredients making test pieces. And if you would like to wrap it up then.
Oh, if you could centre it a bit better, that'd be lovely.
Okay, that one's good. Tastes like my childhood. Okay guys, this next recipe we're doing is the proper construction style gingerbread. It has a hell of a lot more ingredients than the other gingerbreads we're making today, but does seem to look rather nice. So let's give it a go. So the first thing we need is 200 grams of plain flour. I feel like this recipe maybe won't have the best taste.
But I think it'll have the most spectacular result when it comes to being solid.
True, and considering that the whole point of this is to end up with enough stuff to make an actual castle, or at least something strong enough to make an actual castle, I suppose that strength does have to play into it rather a lot.
I'm just going to pause you there. Smell that cinnamon.
Oh my god, so again, I knew I was going to be using a lot of cinnamon, so I brought a ginormous tub of it and I am so damn happy.
We don't have solid cloves, so what we got, a compromise, which is known as ground cloves. So still got the same flavour, just not whole cloves.
So 1/4 teaspoon of that, so if you want to put the flour in the bowl. Oh, they actually smell surprisingly good.
It smells
like
curry.
Is it just me, or do spices just make Christmas? Okay, then we need the ginger again. So there's 1. Then we need the cinnamon.
Ooh, skinnamin.
Skinnamin.
Same as the ground ginger.
So that, again, that's really interesting. It's gingerbread men, and yet we're using the same amount of cinnamon as we are using
And
ginger.
a pinch of sea salt, right?
It says 1/8, so yeah, just go pinch. I haven't got a 1/8 measurement. Maybe a little bit more than that.
I was going to do more than that.
We need the butter. I'm quite surprised. I thought there'd be quite a lot more. I suppose if there's eggs.
Pour that in.
So if you can measure out 70 grams of dark brown sugar for me, that's what we're going to need then. So the reason we use a separate bowl to measure out our ingredients rather than putting them in the big bowl is one, it means that if we make a mistake, it's easy to sort out. And two, it's because the scales tend to conk out at a relatively low level. And so when you're making a lot of stuff, it, you know, doesn't always turn out
Plus, these
amazing.
are old-fashioned style bowls and they weigh a ton.
Yes, so it does tend to conk out rather early. So we're going to need 25 grams of eggs. They couldn't have just told us like 2 eggs.
That's about 1 egg.
Do you want to measure it out just to make sure while I do this? And you can put the vanilla in with the egg as well if you want. Alright, 1 egg. Can you smell that? Oh, it does smell nice. It smells very cinnamony though. Chuck the egg in there and then you want 1 TSP vanilla. Now it does say vanilla paste, but we actually only have vanilla essence. So we're just going to do half a TSP because essence is a lot more watery than paste. But I love vanilla essence. I could drink this stuff. Alright, 100 grams of honey.
Why is it solid?
Oh, it'll be okay. It's just because it's that kind of honey.
God,
So this is proper English honey as well, which our neighbour around the corner actually makes with her own bees. So we've got to mix all of these. It is forming into dough rather nicely. Oh, okay, yeah. So this one has basically turned into a paste. Can't say I'm too impressed with that. I will say that initial taste test of the thing though is very promising. So we've probably now just put in about 3 times the amount of flour that they tell you to put in the recipe. Oh, but it's finally looking a little bit like a dough. Lost a piece, that's fine.
Well, stop eating.
I can't help it, it's so nice.
You know, the only recipe of gingerbread I used to do was one from school, which was from my food tech classes. It came out quite nice, but they always burned, because I think the timing that they gave you was wrong.
We're gonna wrap that up, put that in the fridge as well, and do the washing up so that we can move on to making the 3rd recipe. See you guys in a second. Seriously though, this one does taste really good. Alright guys, so the final gingerbread we are going to be making is the official Disney gingerbread recipe. Again, this is one with quite a lot of ingredients compared to the average recipe, but we're going to give it a go and see how we do. Also, it has the least amount of instructions with any recipe, with literally 3 lines. It has 3 lines of instructions on how to bake this shit.
What are we starting off with then, Danny?
Butter and sugar. So we need, oh my god, it's American, that means we have to use cups. So we need 1.5 cups of unsalted butter. So here's our block of unsalted butter. This is going to work so well. Yeah, that works. And down, and down.
You can't get any further.
This is how we get our cup.
That's 1.5 cups of butter, that is.
Yeah, well, we're going to, with the edges as well, do you
Yeah.
think? Okay.
Well, guys, we're doing cookie cutter butter cutting.
Not our most precise measurement that I think we've ever done. Alright, how the hell do we get it out of here? We didn't think this one through.
Yeah, we did. See, it's coming out perfectly fine. It says, well, laughing and chuckling. See?
Okay. Oh, okay, that was
a
reasonable.
shocking amount of
I
butter.
need 1.5 cups of brown sugar as well, please. Pour it into the cup and then pour it in here. So that's 1 cup.
Anyone order buttery sugar?
Sugary butter, don't you mean? Now, it says molasses and eggs are going in here, however, all the dry ingredients need to go in another bowl. So do you want to measure out all the dry ingredients and put them in there? Oh yeah, we probably should have halved this recipe.
Oh dear, why? How much does it make?
Quite a lot. That's fine.
7 cups of
Yeah,
all-purpose?
I think we should have half this. Alright guys, half the recipe. We're not making a sample size, we're making a full batch of cookies for this.
God, oh my God, look at this.
I'm sorry.
What have you done?
Made way too much gingerbread. So rather than molasses, we're using treacle, which is basically the same as molasses, except English. So how much is a jar of molasses?
I don't know.
So, alright, well let's ask Google.
2 cups.
I don't think we have 2 cups of treacle.
It looks like really congealed soy sauce.
Okay, it doesn't taste terrible. Kind of wish the spices were on top. Yeah, I just hope this bowl is big enough at this point. Oh my god, so much effort! I'm going to put it on the table. Because quite simply, this just ain't working. You will become a cookie ball. You will become a cookie ball. You will become a cookie ball. This cookie dough is practically the size of my head, which is fairly impressive. Also, it's nice, but I'm not 100% convinced about this one's flavour. Okay, so Ben's had to run off to work because emergencies happen, which means I'm left on my own to cut out the cookies. First things first though, let's just grease the baking trays. Now we don't have the best selection of baking trays here, which is unfortunate. When we do the actual gingerbread castle, we'll probably just use these two and maybe these two mini ones for the small bits. But as we have a lot of cookies to bake today, I'm just going to pull out all of them and try and fit as many cookies onto a baking tray as I can, and I'm going to do them in batches. So we'll start with the first gingerbread cookie batch that we made, end with the last one, let them cool, ice them, and then it's time for the taste test. Alright, on to our first cookie dough. Okay, so those are the gingerbread stars we've got so far. Now we've got to take them off, put them on the baking tray, and hopefully I'll have enough gingerbread left for one more for a 5-star tall Christmas tree. Whew, this one's solid. Jesus. This is batch number 2, which was the actual structural gingerbread, and I can tell you guys right now, it is hard to work with, which isn't a bad thing. It probably does mean that it's going to be relatively strong. Now, this batch of dough is a lot bigger than the other ones we made, obviously. God, it weighs so much. Again, this one feels really stiff. And this is the Disney cookie dough. So here are the second batch of cookies, fresh out of the oven, looking absolutely delicious. And here are the final batch, ready to go in. Just need to put the last star on a tray once I take these ones off. Alright guys, we are ready for the taste test. Let's try the batch number 1 of my mum's gingerbread cookie recipe. First impressions?
It's a little dry, I will admit. Like, the flavour of everything is really good. It feels like my mouth is like a desert right now.
It is incredibly soft though. I will give it that. Flavour's nice, I agree with a little dry. Ranking pretty low as far as things go, I think.
No. As gingerbread, it's good. Just needs to have a little bit more moisture in it. Apart from that though, nice.
Okay, recipe number 2, the structural gingerbread. Let's see what we think. Well, it's difficult to bite into.
Doesn't seem to have a flavour.
No. With an equal
biscuit.
amount of cinnamon and ginger, I was very dubious as to whether or not it's actually going to taste like gingerbread, and I don't think it does.
I smell the cinnamon more than I smell the ginger.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a cinnamon cookie. I mean, it tastes good, but would I call it gingerbread? No. That bitter flavour of the cloves, though, as an aftertaste, I actually really like.
As gingerbread house material, amazing. But as gingerbread, it's ranking below your mother's one.
Quite a lot below, to be honest. Alright, number 3, Disney's gingerbread recipe. Let's see how this tastes.
It looks a little burnt, doesn't it?
It looks burnt, but honestly, it was just that this one came out a lot darker colour than the others. I don't like it.
Can I give mine back?
I don't want to do a Gordon Ramsay and spit it out.
I'm sorry, that's fucking awful.
But it's annoying because it's definitely the best looking thing.
I wish I could give you more explanation on that one, but it tastes like shit.
It doesn't even taste like gingerbread. Like it
doesn't taste like biscuits for that matter.
It just tastes like, let's be fair, we did not put as much treacle in it as we should.
However, I don't think that would have improved it in any way, shape or form.
Like, it's sickly sweet, it's also bitter.
And it's dry as a fucking desert.
Alright, the dry bit we'll put down to our own mistake. It just doesn't taste good. So this one's definitely out the running.
As gingerbread men, yeah, I wouldn't eat that stuff. That's like dirt.
And to be honest, it wasn't even that structurally strong, so there's no point us using this recipe in our gingerbread castle. So out of the other 2, what are we thinking? I'm
thinking for things like doors and such, like the nice decoration side of things, going for your mother's recipe would give much nicer look to everything. So the outside of the building is different to the windows and such. But in terms of sheer structurability of assembling a house, your mum's one is just too crumbly. However, we could rectify that with just adding eggs instead of butter.
So actually what I'm going to suggest is that we take the flavouring from my mum's recipe, the amount of cinnamon and mixed spice and all that kind of stuff, take out that flavouring from the construction gingerbread recipe, swap them over, and basically try and build the construction one but with the same or similar flavourings as my mum. It won't be as light and fluffy, but we need it to be dense in order to hold up the fact that we're building a gingerbread castle. Does that sound like a good plan?
I think I can agree with that one.
Definitely can agree with that one. Alright guys, if you want to try any of the gingerbread recipes that we've done today at home, please feel free to have a look in the description where I'll make sure they are all linked or typed up. I will rank them as to which one is best.
Be warned people, these are personal opinions on our gingerbread. Others might prefer the American dirt flavoured gingerbread.
If you guys do try any of our gingerbread recipes, please let us know in the comments down below. We would love to hear your opinion on the matter, and if you think we've made a wrong choice, don't be afraid to let us know.
And if yours does come out a lot better than ours, please send us pictures.
If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give us a like, and if you want to continue getting in the mood for Christmas, don't forget to subscribe for our next episode of 12 Days of Cosplay Christmas. I know that this episode wasn't particularly cosplay related, but that's just because we're building up for a big Disney Castle gingerbread house project in a few days, once we've eaten all of this gingerbread, I think. Don't you?
Not that one.
Not that one, no.
Bye guys, and have a lovely Christmas.
Bye!